This is our big guy right over here. So I'm going to lift up his head and there he is! As you can see, he is famous for his blinding speed and aggression. Blinding speed. He's a big old sweetheart. He's really not that bad. But again, at that size, he's so big, you really can't make him do much. But since he's so big, people often ask, how old is he or how old is that one, that one, or that one? Truth is, we have no idea. There's no way to tell the age of an alligator by simply looking. No size or measurement will tell you. So that's why here we simply cut him in half and count the rings. It's a live show full of horrible jokes, guys. You're going to have to work through the pain with me. It gets way worse. Like I said, there's no way to tell their age. Their size depends on diet and environmental factors, not on how old they are. So JJ could literally be 20 or 75. You'd have no clue. And some records in captivity claim to have alligators over 100 years old, so they're very long-lived, meaning they're more likely to see you later. Alligator! But in here we feed them raw chicken and other kinds of meat. Out in the wild, they're what you call an opportunistic hunter. They'll eat anything from raccoons, turtles, fish, bird, deer, and of course their favorite, tourists. Yay! Which again, guys, I'm kidding. There's over 1 million gators out in the state of Florida. If they really wanted to eat people, you would have people dying every day. We literally have more people killed annually by vending machines than by alligators. That's not a bad joke or a punchline. Guy gets angry, can't get a candy bar, shakes the machine, falls down, and crushes him more often than people get killed by those things, which says everything you need to know about alligator aggressiveness and human intelligence. Speaking of which, I'm going to grab an alligator for you guys. Let's see. I'm going to try to get one out of the corner, but that whole corner is kind of sketchy because I have to like physically pick him up, and the commotion of me pushing him in the water, also pretty sketchy. But that, actually no. So that's, okay, so he's somewhere not there. Let's find out. Yes, I can tell them apart. I kind of have to. They all have different personalities, and some are way meaner than others. Like him. Let's see. Nope. Where's Ajax? So I'm looking for a specific gator named Ajax. It might be over there somewhere. Sketch. Watch out for this guy because he's blind in both eyes, so if I'm not careful and I bump into him, he would try to eat me. But that's not his fault. He might be underneath JJ, actually. All right.
Oh my.
Oh, don't fight. All right. Now let's look inside of his mouth. He hasn't been a show all day trying to hide under JJ. Now there's 80 teeth in there. 40 on the top, 40 on the bottom. Now they can actually break their teeth off, roll them back, and they cycle through several thousand teeth in a lifetime. That comes in handy because of how hard you can bite. Large alligator can bite down with an entire ton of force within his mouth. 2,000 pounds per square inch of power. Some of y'all don't look impressed with that number. Think about it, 2,000 pounds. That's not enough power to ever snap any bone in your weak, fragile, and frankly pathetic human body and crush your skull like a potato chip. If you're still not impressed, it's because y'all are on the wrong side of the glass. Now, even though he can bite down so hard, though, you can keep his mouth shut with your bare hands, as I'm about to attempt to demonstrate right now. All that power is for closing. Very little for opening. So if you're ever about to be attacked by a gator, turn around, grab the jaws. You'll do great. You're going to want to run for that, guys. But we do have all of these alligators in here for a reason, though. We're actually an alligator rescue, and these are all considered to be rescue nuisance gators. Now, a nuisance gator is one that shows up in the backyard, swimming pool, he ate Fluffy, stuff like that, right? Now, once when an alligator eats somebody's dog, the state of Florida will send out an alligator trapper to capture and kill the gator, unless that dog was a Pomeranian. They'll let that one go, it's fine, no one cares. It's really sad though, the state of Florida does kill over 8,000 nuisance gators a year, which is not their fault. It's usually a nuisance person that causes the problem, and by that I mean people that feed them, because once you feed him, he learns to associate you with the food. You don't have the food, kind of are the food. That's why it's against the law to feed these guys. So what we do here is we do shows with these nuisance gators instead of killing them and turning them into a pair of boots, which he appreciates, right? Yes, he does. That's why we're an alligator rescue, because literally every gator you see here would have sadly been euthanized if they're not here. Hey, you're doing the show next. Hey. So that looked a lot worse than it actually is. That's a dominance thing, and this guy's name is Rick. I can't tell you what it rhymes after. All right, no. So when they misbehave, they have to do the show next. Alrighty. We good? Okay. So that's why we do shows with them, which they are happy about because we don't turn them into shopping bags. But we do, we're lucky enough though to work with one of the only non-kill gator trappers around. I work under him and rescue these guys out of people's backyards myself. One of them was caught at 4 in the morning on someone's front doorstep. Imagine you're up early for work, you open your front door, surprise, this guy's sitting on your welcome mat. Literally what happened? Now that gator was promptly rescued again. I say the word rescue because if a different trapper showed up, they just simply shoot the poor alligator, and that's that. The reasoning behind that is, as nuisance gator trappers, you do not get paid to capture the gator. The gator itself is the payment. Why? Because the state of Florida paid you, and well, you ripped your arm off, you can sue the state for liability, so the state goes, nah. We're not paying you crazy people. Your payment is the body of the gator, thereby incentivizing other trappers to kill him to sell the meat and the hide. That's why the group that I work with are the only ones dumb enough to work for free. So we volunteer our time on paying to rescue them out of people's backyards and swimming pools instead of killing them for a profit. And we've rescued over 500 nuisance gators over the past several years. Now how it works in here, whenever we get one from someone's backyard, they'll stay here for a little bit. We'll determine whether or not that alligator has the personality to be able to do shows. If they do, we'll keep him, train that one, then send an old one out to another sanctuary. So it's like a revolving door in here. The state, though, doesn't allow the release or relocation of nuisance gators back out into the wild due to their homing ability. What that means is if I were to take this guy, drop him off 100 miles out into the middle of nowhere, give him a couple months, he can wind up in the very same backyard he was caught from. They use the Earth's magnetic field to find their way. And that's why they're recognized as such amazing navigators. Navigator. Don't worry guys, we'll get in a couple minutes. Now alligator wrestling is not like real wrestling. I do not hurt, headlock, or body slam a poor animal. They're actually techniques used by the native tribes of Florida. One of those maneuvers was holding the jaw shut between your chin and your chest, allowing your hands to be free to take out a rope and then tie the jaw shut, which sounds like a horrible, dangerous idea because it is. So I'm going to show it to you. Makes a cool looking photo. I'm going to give you a thumbs up to the side like this. If anything goes horrifically wrong, switch your camera from photo to video, and if possible, send it to me after. All right. Now you sir, try to behave. If you're a good boy, I'll get you a nice chihuahua at the end of the show. He loves those things, guys. And as I say that, stop, go, yaw. We're very strong, by the way. Ta-da. Thank you so much for that overwhelming, unprompted enthusiasm, guys. I greatly appreciate it. Now for the biggest question we get asked all day, though, is why aren't they all attacking me? Why aren't they more aggressive? How am I still alive? And why do y'all look so disappointed I'm still alive? The number one thing is you must have just fed him. That's why he's so calm. Literally couldn't be more dead wrong. Feeding is actually the most dangerous part of our job. Feeding them doesn't make them calm and happy. It creates a feeding frenzy, and it is literally the last thing we do for the day. Then we go home. We don't come back in here because they're all going nuts. A lot of people think to themselves, I feed my dog and he loves me. Why wouldn't it be the same? Does that look like your dog? He does not think or act like your dog. He sees you as the food. You bring food with you. That's a buy one, get one free. Another one is, well, if you feed him enough, though, he might get full and not want to bite you, right? I've seen an alligator eat so much food, he'll physically puke it all up, then eat it all over again. Beautiful smell, by the way. So no, there's nothing in their brain that tells them to stop eating, and of course, he must be sedated. That's why he's so calm. You can't do that to these guys. They're what you call a conscious breather. He has to physically think about every breath he takes. You guys are unconscious breathers. You are breathing right now without even thinking about it. So if he's under the influence, he's not breathing properly because he's not thinking properly, and he dies. So if we ever have to take one to the vet, we need to hook him up to an intubation machine that will artificially breathe for him. But when they first come in from the wild, guys, they don't act like this. He's gonna try to kill me with everything that he has because he thinks I'm going to kill him and he's gonna defend himself out of fear. But once they realize that we're not gonna hurt him and we do an animal-friendly show, they're honestly a lot more calm, relaxed. He's tolerating a lot of this because he knows I'm no threat, but they do know that we're the guys that do the show, so when one of them does try to eat one of us, we make them do the show instead. So that's how you're able to see me walking around. They keep their heads down. They're like, bruh, don't pick me. Don't pick me. Does that make them tame or trustworthy? Absolutely not. Hand slips, if I were to trip and fall. If one of them thinks they can creep up on me, they'll totally go for it. This guy right here literally tried to come up around me. Granted, very like stealthy with his mouth like slightly cracked open. If everybody in the crowd didn't pull up their phones all at once going like, yeah, he's gonna die, I literally would have no clue. And it's happened a couple times today already where I'm walking around in the water. One of them will try to come up and grab me in the leg while I'm not paying attention. And if I'm not quick, any one of these guys would literally rip my leg off, eat it in front of me, and not think twice or feel bad about it because they're alligators, not Labradors. There's never a bond, there's never a friendship, they aren't my pets. I love them, they don't love me, and yes, they do bite. In fact, where is he? That guy in the corner bit our boss before twice. That's why he's our favorite. He's a good boy. Now, right behind the alligator's eyes are their ears. They can seal off their ears, their nostrils, and the back of their throat. Although they live underwater, they don't breathe underwater, but they can hold their breath for an amazing 6 hours at a time. And if you notice all these dots around his face, these are called integumentary sensory organs. Each one of those dots has 10 times the amount of touch your fingertip has. So out in the wild, if you were to lose one or both of his eyes, you still have a really good chance at survival through the feeling of touch alone, where all he needs to do is that at the bottom of the water, just waiting for a fish to swim by. He'll feel that vibration and turn and snap at it at lightning speed. And the last thing I want to hammer home to you guys about these dudes is they're unbelievably important to our local environment. There's a reason to have them around. Out in the Everglades during our dry season, there'll be sections of Everglades that have no water in them whatsoever. So in preparation for that, these guys will dig out a hole for themselves, or like a pond called the gator hole, that will be the last place of survival for gators and of course other fish. It gives them a place to hide until that water level comes back up. But in turn, for all of the land animals, that turns into an oasis for them to drink water, eat the fish, and then over a longer period of time, birds come, they eat the fish, they poop out seeds, that adds soil. So these guys will create tree islands. So a lot of the ones you saw out there was created by an alligator a long time ago. Now before I do my last trick, let me tell you a little bit about myself. You don't think I'm some crazy nut job? No, it looks. Currently pursuing an environmental studies degree over at NDC, and it's always been a dream of mine to work with animals and of course teach people about them. And I really do hope that every single one of you here leave with a newfound respect for these awesome and misunderstood creatures. Only downside though to working here is obviously very dangerous. Due to the danger factor, I am technically not an employee of the park. That way I'm not on their insurance. That way if he does rip off my hand, I gotta get one student card and kick out the door. Literally the healthcare plan here. Due to liability, I'm an unpaid volunteer doing the show for free, so if something bad does happen, it's 100% on us. So if you guys enjoyed the show, have fun, learn about gators, like the fact that we were rescuing, we saved these guys, we really appreciate anything that goes in a little tip jar / hand replacement fun at the end. Now for the not so fun part, guys, please don't try this on your own. I am very calm and comfortable around the animals, not because it's safe, but I received proper training and I'm what you call desensitized and mentally unstable. Does take one slip, you can lose life or limb. I'm lucky I haven't had any bad accidents yet. I've had some friends that did. I had one friend get bit in the hand during a show, gator shook, death rolled, snapped his arm in half. Another one got bit in the upper arm. Gator threw him off of its back, death rolled, ripped his bicep muscle off the bone, ate jumped his arm, and almost bled out and died. Now, I'm not saying that to be dramatic. I'm not trying to scare you guys. I don't want you to be afraid of them, but I know I can make it look so easy. People forget they're powerful apex predators. Never try to approach them. But as you can see, they're not out to get you. They're not going to sprint after you on land. They're a bunch of cute, lazy bums. But when you feed them, swim in their habitat, or try to handle them, that's how you get hurt or killed. If you leave the animal alone, they'll leave you alone. Now for our last trick is called the face-off. It's called the face-off because if I mess up, my face comes off. You have to have a dark sense of humor with your guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the jaws, balance my chin on the edge of the open jaws, and if anything touches inside of his mouth, the jaw slamms shut because it's a reflex and nothing stops the jaws from closing. I have to watch out for sweat, sand, that's right, the roof up there from rains. Makes this trick kind of sketchy. If you look down here, it looks like he's kind of chubby. That's not fat, that's his jaw muscle. He has maybe like 15, 20 pounds of muscle solely for closing his mouth. Big guy like JJ can have over 50. That's how they're able to generate that much power to break every bone in your body. Okay. Now that I switched my weight around, there's a chance he might try to freak out a little bit. Let's try to make him look nicer for the photos. So before I get my face ripped off, I'd like some motivation. Y'all enjoying the show? Yeah. Very enthusiastic, yes. Chill. There's a lot of sand in his mouth. That's sketchy. Give it to the alligator, guys. As you can see, he just gets up and he waddles away, and he's done. He's literally going to lay there for the next 3 hours. For you guys, though, we're going to take out a baby gator and some other animals to check out. If you have any questions for me, I'll be standing strategically by the tip jar, treasure group, and we'll catch up. Whatever. You guys enjoy the show and have fun.